Here's my experience living in Somalia for 6 weeks. I mean, I lived in Somalia in 2014 when I was 16, I believe. Close this door. I lived in Somalia for 6 weeks. Now, I was actually living in England at the time, and then I went to Somalia with my mom and my sister. We went over there to visit my grandparents. I actually saw my dad's dad. I saw my mom's mom and her sisters, her half sisters. I saw my dad's half sisters, half brothers. Like I saw a whole new different side of the family that I've never ever seen before. So that was interesting. And the country itself, not very developed. Obviously, it's a very shitty country. I mean, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. I fucking hated living there. I absolutely hated it because number one, there's no Wi-Fi. There's no Wi-Fi in the shacks, the shanty towns that I lived in. I lived in a very rundown, shacked little ghetto, little hut village. Like it was so primitive, but also, the people were very happy to live there, living in squalor, living in filth. There's rats running around the place, and then you have a shower in like a little fucking cubicle, and then you get a bucket of water, you put some hot water in the fucking bucket, and then you just put it over your head, and then you just wash yourself, and there's mosquitoes flying all over the place and flies flying all over. Don't get me started on the flies. Please don't get me started on the flies. Oh my god. So whenever we are going to the market, whenever you go to the market to get fish or whatever the fuck, we go to the market to get some food for the day with my mom and my sister and maybe my other relatives or something. They would show us the way. And then we would see a guy holding a massive fish, like a huge fish right here. And then there's flies all over the fish, flying everywhere. Like all over the place. There's flies flying all over the place. It's like, okay, but there's flies everywhere. I mean, flies everywhere, dude. Every fucking where there's flies. Whenever you're having some rice, there's flies all over the rice. You gotta do this to try and make them fly away. They're very voracious flies. There's a problem with flies in Somalia. They're everywhere. Fucking everywhere. And the transportation system. Let me talk about that. There's a couple things that I saw. The police system over there is very corrupt. So we were on these, little primitive trucks, not trucks, but little trams for buses. We pay the guy and then he's standing on top of it and then he just taps the top of the bus so that the driver knows when to go. And every time there will be routine checks and stops by armed guards. But these guards, they would take money from all of the people in the tram, all of the people in the little bus, and they would take money, protection money. It's his feeling of I have a massive AK-47, so give me money or I'm gonna kill you guys. That's how it works over there. And the government over there, they take all of them. Well, that's not my experience, but I'm just telling you guys why they do that. They do that because they don't get paid. And if they don't get paid, they're going to take the money from the civilians and they're going to steal from them to try and, eat some food for the day. I can't really knock them, even though they're fucking thieves and, they're always chewing khat on the roadside. That's every single god guy. He's fucking chewing khat every time. It's a drug, like a drug that gives you like some side effects and stuff like that. It's imported from Kenya. What else is my experience? You have to go to an internet cafe to have internet. There is no internet connection, so you're pretty much bored the whole day. You have nothing to do. It was also Ramadan. It's very hot, extremely hot, like 35 degrees or something like that. You gotta continuously drink water, but you can't because it's Ramadan. You gotta fast. So my experience living there was boring, very shitty. I hated it. I hated every second of it. The only redeeming quality that it had was when we went to Lido Beach, which is in Mogadishu. We went to Mogadishu because my family is from Mogadishu. That's why we went there. And we went over there to Mogadishu and visited family, relatives. It was always very shitty. My family, the relatives, they treated me really badly because they say, "Oh, ninkan wuxuu kusoo amaaday Britain iyo waxaas wuxuu yaqaanaa waxaan u yaqaanaa." They're always looking down on diaspora people from different countries. Diaspora, Somali people that are living there, they always look down on the diaspora every single time. It's like they always look down on you, man. It's like, they expect money from you, but then they treat you like shit. It's like, how do you expect money from someone that you treat like garbage? There's a lot of thieves there too. They pickpocket a lot. Even though, it's supposed to be a Muslim country, they don't care about that. They treat the women really bad over there. The women have no rights. None of them are in government. Very much corruption everywhere. Rundown sewage system. We don't have a sewage system. We don't even have a sewage system. We have to shit in a hole in the ground and then we just cover it with some some dirt. Yeah, pretty much. And if you go to the market, out of nowhere there might be a bomb blast because we have terrorists running around the place. The government's inept. Well, my experience living there was boring as fuck. Nothing to do. Boring as fuck. And I was fasting as well, so that adds to it. I was routinely I was sick because the food is infested with flies. You're gonna have salmonella and food poisoning continuously because you're eating food that's contaminated. Obviously, the locals, they're used to that type of food because they know that they're not going to be sick because they've already built up their bodies to resist the bacteria. But they're living in filth. The living conditions are really bad over there, extremely bad over there. That's why I'm happy to be living in the West right now. But primitive culture, primitive people, primitive language, primitive country, primitive road system, primitive sewage system, primitive everything. It's like incompetence at a high level. They resolve their issues with violence. There's no judicial system that's going to actually, have a rule of law. Now, even if there is a rule of law, we have a constitution in Somalia, but we don't even have a police force that actually governs the country. Like, it's insane. Like, everything is done backwards. It's like arguing, shouting, violence. That's literally the only way they resolve their issues there. They don't resolve issues by talking civilized people like me and you. It's like. So overall, my experience there was very shitty. I hated every second of it. Maybe I was 14, so I was kind of, whatever, just going through life. I played a lot of football with the locals, with the sand, and in the sand, everywhere there's sand. There's no stone. Like, there's no stone. There's no pavement, like here in the Netherlands or in the UK. There's no pavements. There's no grocery stores. You have to go outside and kill a goat, eat the goat. You would never survive as a vegetarian over there in Somalia. You wouldn't survive. Yeah, you can go to the grocery store, but it's overpriced. Internet connection is overpriced. It's more money than Europe, than over here. It costs more because they're incompetent and they're idiots. What else is there? What was my experience? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hated it. I fucking hated it, man. I really hated it. It was so shitty. Mosquitoes. It's another thing. That's another thing. Continuously getting bit by mosquitoes. Every time. Always. We were living in shingut, which is aluminium, like aluminium shingles. Shingles. You guys know what shingles are. It's like an aluminium. How do I explain it? A shingle, like a little build, like okay. Let me explain it to you. So aluminium, like aluminium, roof aluminium, and then the ground is just sand. It's just sand. Maybe they put a bit of carpet over there on the floor. Then there's a little bed. There's a bed there, at least. At least there's a bed. At least I don't sleep on the fucking sand. There's a bed, which is, that's fine. At least there's a fucking bed on the ground. Continuously getting bit by mosquitoes, flies everywhere. Everything is filthy, disgusting. The people are disgusting, very rude. Oh yeah, and the tea. They add the tea with so much fucking sugar. It's like your brain wants to explode. How the hell do these guys not have diarrhea or diabetes every fucking day is beyond me. They continuously give me meat even though I don't want to eat it. I'm vegetarian. I told them I'm vegetarian, but then they're like, oh, what did you eat? These people, healthy living is foreign to them. How are you going to live healthy and you're living in filth? You're living in squalor. You're living in fucking beyond the filth. You're living beyond fucking an ape. Like, you're living at the bottom of society. Like, not even the bottom. Okay, well, bottom of society here is actually the one of the best over there. So, I mean, it's comparable to Brazil. Like, the slums of Brazil, that's where I lived in. Something like that. Yeah. You resolve your issues with violence over there. You don't talk, man. You fight. And then if you win the fight, you won the argument. If you lose the fight, you lost the argument. Even if technically you were in the right, the violence sorts out the problems. You fight it out, and then if you lose the fight, then you lost the argument. Might, how do you say it? Might means right in over there. That's how it works over there. Maybe if you have some type of connections with clan leaders and elders, and you're the head of a clan, or you're influential, and it depends on who you know and what you know. Who you know and where you're from. That's all that matters over there. If you want to get a job, it's about who you know that has a job. If someone that you know has a job, and then they can vouch for you to get that job. You're not going to get the job because you have good credentials or something like, no, that's foreign. You're not going to get the job because you know what you're doing and you're actually good at the job. No. That's not part of the game. You're going to get the job because you know someone that has a job. If you don't know someone that has a job, you're not getting a job. Not going to happen. Period. With a big P. With a big little full stop over there on the floor. So overall, in conclusion, the place is shitty. The houses are shitty. There's no Wi-Fi. There's nothing. You don't want to go over there. It's shitty and garbage. I'm out. Peace. Tell me what you guys think.